Morning, fellow Plexers. Today I'm going to try to help Richard. I'm still missing a little bit of information, but I think I know what's going on. He's got a huge TV show library that all shows his duplicate episodes. And he's moved Plex Media to a new drive. He's running Windows with, I don't know if it's internal or portable drives yet. I assume it's internal drives if I'm remembering one thing he said. And I'm missing one screenshot. So Richard, if you're watching this right off the bat, let's go to your TV show library. And these three dots here, if you click that, then go to Manage Library and Edit. And then click on Add Folders. I'd like to see if you're pointed at just the newer drive and not the new and the old drive. That's the screenshot. That's the money shot I've been waiting for. So let's see if we can recreate the situation you're in to then show how to solve it. And basically on my Plex server, this is a test one running on my older Synology NAS. And it doesn't matter if it was a bare metal Windows or Ubuntu or Mac install, it all works the same. So if you're in your settings under library, not manage library, I have to turn these automatic scanning features off. And you really don't want to use these with portable drives in the first place, because if a USB drive accidentally becomes disconnected, the media will scan, disappear, and the trash will empty automatically. And that will ruin any custom artwork you've assigned to a movie or TV show. And it will also remove it from any collection you've manually added it to. When you're using RAID storage, you can turn these options on. So I had them all on under this test server. But with them on, I can't recreate your issue. So this test server just has public domain media on it, and the TV show library that's already there points to this folder structure. I use a sorting structure where I have a folder for each type of, I'm not where I need to be. I have a folder for each type of Plex library, and then inside that sorting library folder are individual Plex library folders. So I've copied everything in this library folder to here to represent where your files once were, and of course this will represent the final destination of them. So first of all, I have to go back to the library and get myself duplicated. So if I go to my TV show library and edit it, manage, edit, I can add that extra path. Don't get confused by this. The server is running in a Docker container, and this my Plex Media is an alias to this shared media folder. So the one alias can see anything inside that. So I'll click in there. I'll choose my TV show library sort folder. And then I'll click on the old and add it, save the changes, and Plex automatically scans this no matter what my settings are, because I've added a new path. So we'll let it finish its little scan here. Okay, so it's scanning, it's just detecting intros and end credits again. So I think with a Plex series library, I have to change to episode mode to then sort for duplicates. And now I have 60 duplicates of all 60 original episodes. But that doesn't change the fact that on your server, one path shows as unavailable while they both show as available on mine. So we're going to attempt to fix that to make it a complete match with your server by simply renaming the old location or deleting it. It doesn't matter. Either way, Plex won't see it now. So if I refresh Plex, this still won't have much of an effect besides to make it match yours. Now you see how it's unavailable. It's still listed as a duplicate, but it's unavailable. And if I go and just empty the trash, that doesn't change anything. If I rescan the library and empty the trash, that will change things. If I remove the path, that will change things. So you really have two options, but the best option is to remove the original path, or we're calling this the original path because that's where your issue is, even though this was my original path. So if I simply remove that path and save changes, all the duplicates are gone. So that's why I've been hounding you for that one screenshot. I need to see it. It's probably the cause of everything. And if your drives are internal, let's keep going with this video. Let's stop sorting by duplicates. And let's go back to my server settings. So because this media is on a Synology NAS with RAID storage, it's never going to disappear unless the motherboard and the NAS dies, but then Plex server stops with the file storage. I'm safe to enable Scan My Library automatically, run a partial scan when changes are detected. You can include music libraries, but you have to heed this warning. Well, you have to heed this warning in Linux, not under Windows, because Linux is limited to the number of overall folder structures it can keep track of, and it uses the Linux IO Notify service to tell Plex that there's new media or a new folder on your system. Okay, so also check empty trash after every scan, drop down and save changes. People miss this. You have to drop down and save the changes. So now if we go back to the library, let me go back in here. Let me sort by TV shows. Now I still have everything in this renamed folder, so let me add that back in. Edit, manage, edit, add folders. Of course, now it's been renamed, so I'll go into my sort folder and grab that. And now just by adding it, well, by adding it either way, it's going to rescan. Doesn't matter if all those settings are on or not. When you add a folder to a Plex library, it just scans. So let's sort this by episodes and duplicate again. So we don't need to finish letting it scan, we just need to change some things around. So even with that path, if I take this one show and move it outside of the folder, those changes will be detected and my duplicate numbers will go down. So again, these automatic settings, which it just did, now it's 44. And if I move this show out, this will go down again, and Plex automatically scans, and you saw a little trash can appear. Now I'm just down to these 8 shows of this one TV show. So with internal hard drives, let's go back to these settings. With internal hard drives, it's safer to have this automatic library scanning going. But it's not 100% foolproof unless you're running a rated setup. Because again, any customization you do to Plex with custom movie posters, custom collections, playlists for music, all that custom stuff, if the media disappears, those Plex tags you've created within the Plex interface disappear also. So if you're running an unrated setup and you have a parity drive, you're using a QNAP or Synology NAS or another NAS, and the hard drives are in a RAID configuration with either a single or double drive redundancy, you can enable these. But anything with a portable drive, I would not enable these, and I would scan manually. And that's the last thing I want to talk about. So let me turn these settings off. Empty trash might be able to be left on, because if you're manually scanning, why not have it empty the trash at the same time? So I'm just going to leave that setting on. Remember to drop down and save the changes. And let's go back to this same library. Now remember, we're still pointing to this one show. So that has duplicate entries. And this time what I want to do is I want to represent adding more TV shows by doing the reverse, by just pulling a couple out. There's 2 episodes in this special folder. So I'll just pull them out of where Plex is looking. And because I turned the automatic scanning features off, nothing happens. Well, now if I manually scan, where are my scan library files? I had a brain stoppage. I thought maybe I should have done something else first, but I can talk about that. If I had not set empty the trash when it scanned, those 2 shows would have had trash can icons on them. So really, even with portable drives, I would say leave the empty the trash option checked, because the catastrophic stuff happens by automatically scanning the library when Plex senses something is disconnected. So if your portable drive becomes disconnected and Plex doesn't automatically scan, well, hopefully you realize what's going on before you add media to do a manual library scan, because that's the only way having the auto trash empty box checked would hurt you. So all my videos are just kind of winged. I don't prep anything besides maybe a little folder structure here and there. So we're still detecting intros. And the real fix, to go back to that, is what I suspect: edit the library, get rid of that original path, and doing that just automatically scans the library too. And those duplicate episodes are gone. And then depending on your level of risk and comfort, again, we're back to settings library, how you want these checked. So on this system, this is safe to do. This is even safe to do until the folder threshold crosses over 8,000 someplace. Now on my regular server, so my media from my normal server is on my newer Synology NAS, but Plex server runs on 11th gen Intel NUC. Those 2 systems are physically disconnected, so I can't use any of this automated stuff. I still have the trash emptied automatically after every scan, and now I do a timed scheduled scan. I scan every 2 hours. On a lower end system you may think that's crazy, but an 11th gen i5, even the mobile version I'm using, It has so much power you don't even notice a scan is going on or that they happen that often. So it's a set it and forget it setting on my server. Plex will run on a potato. You might not want this setting on a Raspberry Pi or a really old processor. But for a modern processor, an i5, 8th gen or newer, I think you're safe doing this time scan if you've got a disconnected Plex server from your actual media. Local media, you can use these. And local would be portable, internal, or network storage with Plex running on the same system that's managing the network storage. So this is getting long, but Richard, I hope this helps you. And this is why I've been waiting for that one screenshot. I suspect this is what's going on. But even if it's not exactly what's going on, some of these settings and understanding how they work might be helpful to you. I hope you solve your issue. Plex has been rock solid for me since around 2020. I started in 2019 on this older Synology NAS. I did not know what a Plex support article was from my elbow. I used this group and read it, and there's a lot of wrong answers in Plexaholics, but there's a lot of right answers too. And it's basically read the frickin' manual, and Plex just has all kinds of support documents. I know I can never stop, but this is the main support URL, and if you follow these rules, and you don't need to know all of them, but if you follow these rules, Plex is a wonderful experience, and it's totally rock solid on my end. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helps you. Happy Plexing.